Hello everyone, hope you all have seen the question paper, and if you have not seen yet, after this class download that, take the test seriously, and next day we will be discussing the marking scheme and the question answers. Now today, as you have already seen, our discussion will be based on this topic. Now many of you are facing problem that I have come to know that how to distinguish the pair of chemicals, as this is a very important type of question that comes not only in class 9 but also in class 10, 11 and 12. This is one of the most favorite type of question of council, and so today we will be discussing on how to go with this type of question, how to solve this type of problem. See, there is no particular rule or particular method, or there is no framework for this, but few things you need to keep in mind when you are solving this type of problem. First of all, you must be having a very clear and sound knowledge about the reaction and observations. Whichever reactions and observations you have read till the day. It's not that class 9 means only class 9 we will be concentrating. Whatever you have read from class 7, 8 and 9, all those reactions and observations, because maximum of them you are reading in every class. 7 you have read types of reaction, again in 8 and again in 9 you are repeating actually every class same chapter. So that's only adding on. Every year we are adding on some reactions. So you should have a clear idea or vision on those reactions and observation. Secondly, when you are solving this type of problem, keep it in mind that you cannot use any indicator, solubility, colors or odors. Those are physical way of testing the chemical. The question comes distinguish chemically. That means you need to give a chemical test to find out the change or find out the difference between the pair of substances which are given to you all. So colors, odor, general, just by seeing that this is green color, this is white color, or this two solution if you are testing with the litmus, it is giving this color, it is giving that color. So indicators, colors, solubility, texture, this will be not considered, will not consider them in this type of questions. Third, the methods of distinguishing is generally classified in the two parts. One is a heating method. That means you are going for some thermal decomposition. You are giving heat. So action of heat on the substance, whether it is changing on the action of heat. Second, you are adding some reagent from outside. Now, sometimes we get a pair of compounds which are insoluble in water, and other general reagents are not available or do not react with that particular pair of compounds. Previous day in the chapter 2 revision test, I think I gave a pair of copper carbonate and zinc carbonate. Now remember that all carbonates except sodium, potassium and ammonium, rest all carbonates are insoluble in water. So whenever you are getting such pairs of carbonates other than these three carbonates, always try to go for heating, because you have seen the carbonates and nitrates, they give a very beautiful observations on heating. Nitrates we have discussed, so for nitrates also same rule is applied, and for carbonates also. So copper carbonate and zinc carbonate, if you heat both of them, there will be difference in color in the residues. Copper carbonate on heating gives a black color residue, and zinc oxide forms on heating zinc carbonate. That means on heating zinc carbonate we are getting a residue which is yellow when hot and white when cold. So if you are applying heat to this pair, you are getting a different observation in this pair in both the cases. So this will be the method. So whenever you are doing distinguishing chemically, the points on which the marks are given, that means when a teacher is correcting your answer of this type of question, 3 points a teacher checks. First point is the method, whether you are heating or whether you are applying reagent, that one. The first point is there has to be a correct method. Second is the point of reference or the observation, the positive observation. And third is the negative observation or the negative test. Negative test means suppose you have a pair sodium carbonate and lead carbonate. This pair is given to you all. Now, sodium carbonate will not decompose on heating, just as I have said that sodium carbonate and potassium ammonium, these three carbonates, they ammonium decomposes on heating. By mistake I have said that ammonium do not decompose on heating. Ammonium carbonate decomposes on heating. Sodium and potassium, these two carbonates, they do not decompose on heating. So sodium carbonate and lead carbonate, suppose it is given to you all. So you are applying heat to both of them. So sodium carbonate on heating will show no change. It will remain stable. It is stable towards heat. It will not get broken down in further substances on heating. But in case of lead carbonate, it forms a residue which is yellow in color. So the corrections will be based on the method that you are applying, that is here heating. Second is the positive test, that is yellow color residue. Third is a negative test, that you are writing that no change on heating for sodium carbonate. Many students, what they do, they write that sodium carbonate, they skip the sodium carbonate part, they just write that heating is carried out with both the substances and lead carbonates give yellow residue. They do not speak anything about sodium carbonate. Maybe they think that as it does not happen, as nothing is happening in case of sodium carbonate, so why to write? But you need to mention the negative test as well. So these 3 points always taken in consideration when the correction of this type of question is done. Now these two carbonates are stable towards it, sodium carbonate and potassium carbonate. Ammonium carbonate breaks. Now the other cases other than carbonates or nitrates, suppose you have solutions. Now again one more thing you need to check, that which part is different. You will find either cation is different or anion is different. In case of this carbonates and nitrates, I am talking about these cases where the anions are same, cations are different. Suppose anions are different. You are having dilute sulfuric acid and dilute hydrochloric acid. So in both the cases, the chloride and sulfate ions are different. Or suppose you have calcium chloride and calcium nitrate. So both the cases, cation is same but the anion is different. So when we have these pairs like chloride nitrate, chloride sulfate, sulfate nitrate, two popular reagents are used here. Remember, barium chloride solution is one of the reagent. Second is silver nitrate solution. Both these reagents, how they are reacting with sulfates and chloride, we have already done. We have done in 7, we have done it in 8, and also we have done it in class 9. So we are doing it from class 7. Application of barium chloride and silver nitrate. We use solution of these compounds. Generally, kind of double decomposition reaction. So reagents are those which we are adding to a particular substrate to get a desirable product. Now suppose we have dilute HCl and dilute sulfuric acid. So what we will do, we will add barium chloride, because we know that barium chloride reacts with sulfate to forms white precipitate of barium sulfate. Whereas barium chloride does not react with chlorides. So HCl will not react with barium chloride, and barium chloride reacts with nitrate, but all nitrates are soluble in water. So barium nitrate which is forming thus is not showing any observable change. So if you have a pair of sulfate and nitrate, we always use barium chloride. So barium chloride with sulfate gives white precipitate and with nitrate gives no precipitate. Secondly, in case of chloride and nitrate, suppose you have this pair. Now when we have pair of chloride and nitrate, you cannot use barium chloride, because if you add barium chloride to both the solutions, there will be no change. In one case there will be no reaction, and another case reactions will happen, but that will not be visible. We need to give some visible change. Distinguished chemical element, something which is showing some colors, some observable changes are recorded. So here we will be using silver nitrate, because silver nitrate with chloride forms a carbide precipitate, whereas silver nitrate of course will not react with nitrates. I always suggest when you have a pair of sulfates with chloride, try to avoid silver nitrate, because silver sulfate sometimes forms a hazy solution. So better you can use that, in that case, barium chloride. So when you have a pair of chloride and nitrate, try to use silver nitrate. Now I am not writing on the board all these things. It is your duty to pause the video and write these points, because these all will help you while solving the distinguished type of chemical problems. So this is another. So three things we have seen. One is heating method. Second is treatment with reagent, under that use of barium chloride. Third is use of silver nitrate. Now other than this, like suppose you have ferrous sulfate and copper sulfate, you have read that ferrous sulfate and copper sulfate, these two solution, if you treat with iron nail, if you place iron nail to it, so iron can displace copper, but Fe plus FeSO4, there will be no reaction. So that's your knowledge, or that's your idea of the reactions that you are having already in your mind. So always in exam, the distinguished chemically come from your syllabus only. Do not think that we will get any random pairs which we do not know. Basic pairs which you have read already under this reaction observation type of question, those compounds are only taken and there only the pairing up is done, and then that is giving you to solve. Carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, how to distinguish? We all know that both of them turns lime water milky, but carbon dioxide do not show any effect to potassium permanganate solution, whereas sulfur dioxide can decolorize that. So this also we have read. So this way the question comes. So I hope you all have understood. Many are having the problem. So basically, if you go with nicely with this reaction observation type of problem, then it will be very easy. We have already seen many, and today in the revision test question also I have given a pair to solve. Try to do that. Next day we will discuss again those question answers, and next week we will be continuing with the water, because lot many classes are already given to this chapter 1 and chapter 2. Take care of your health and hygiene. See you in the next class. Bye.